Yes. Now, what are we saying? How are we doing, chat? You were so scared after my injury. Yeah, it did look like I died, to be fair. It's been a while since I've done a stream. Life has been extremely busy, ironically, because I put stream in the middle there. Life has been very busy. A lot's been going on. And most of you would have seen, as you can see in the title, we had the France versus England game in Paris. Obviously, we were invited over by Amin to play against some French content creators, influencers, casual football players. I knew from the very start that that was going to be different. I knew it was going to be different. I also knew it would be more competitive than guys were making it out to be. I knew it. Because when you're putting country on the line, when you're putting the name of the country on the line, it's got a deeper level to it. You're representing a whole nation. Unofficially, of course, but still. You know, I used to watch random sports on TV, yeah, and if it was England or Nigeria involved, I didn't care what the sport was. I was fuming if they lost. I was fuming. That applies here. I don't know if you lot have that same kind of feeling. I could be watching freaking Snell's race. If they painted a Nigeria flag or an England flag on that Snell, best believe I'm rooting for that Snell. So yeah, it was always going to be competitive. I'm glad we brought some of the players that we did, because some of those players were not in the initial drafts. And genuinely, if I'm looking back at that event, I did a post on IG and I did a post on Twitter. But genuinely had such an incredible time. Bar my injury, I had the best time at that event. First of all, the weather was stupendous, almost too good. It was way too hot in the day, actually. But that evening, for me, perfect. Then, the atmosphere. Can I say, yeah, I've been to 2 games in Parc des Princes now. One I've played in, one I watched. Both times, the atmosphere was insane, incredible, incroyable, fantastic. The French fans, most of you, because I heard some of you were throwing bottles. Yeah, you lot that were throwing bottles, do one. The rest of you, c'était fantastique. A couple men were shining lasers at people. I didn't see that until people showed me in the highlights. 90 minutes of subs. Yeah, that is my one grievance. My one grievance with the whole thing. Genuinely, the result doesn't bother me that much. Obviously, I want to win. Obviously, like, representing you guys, wanted to win the game. But I'm not mad about the result like that. Like, it's football. Someone's got to win. Someone's got to lose. I'm not going to die over it. But the one grievance was that announced every single sub. So we ended up losing, I think it was like 25 minutes of actual play time because of substitutions. Like, at one point I was waiting to be subbed on for a good 5 minutes. I was stood there. Plus the 45-minute half time did not help my leg situation, because I cooled down and then had to warm up again, but my legs didn't quite catch up to where they needed to be. But other than that, fantastic event. I can't tell you how sick it is, yeah, to go into a stadium where the majority of people want you to lose. Oh my gosh. Am I tapped in the head? Why did I love that feeling? Can someone explain to me why I love that feeling? It was like nothing I've ever experienced before, man. It was so good. It was so good. United fan energy, maybe. It's the world against us sometimes, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, having the whole crowd. Because normally, obviously, when we do Sidemen charity matches, everyone's there to see everyone just have a good time. So the whole stadium is just rooting to see goals and, you know, cool things happen. This was completely different. It was even like when I did Soccer Aid last year, and we'll come on to Soccer Aid, but when I did Soccer Aid last year, I was on the rest of the world team. So people were rooting for England, but they were still kind of happy just to see goals. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to read out these gifteds in a bit. Thank you so much for the subs. People were there to see England win, because it's in England, but they were still just happy to see goals go in regardless. This one, oh my gosh. When we stepped out just to see the pitch, it was boo, like playful boos, but boo. And I was like, ooh, goosebumps. And then when we stepped out to do the warm-up again, the stands had filled up more, so it was boo. And I said, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And then obviously during the game, every time, the whole crowd was insane for the French players. Was insane for them. Every time they touched the ball, every time they went on the attack, it was the loudest noise I've ever heard, bro. Loud. When they scored, it went insane. The firework, hey, the production levels, I'll give it to them, man. Whatever, they spent the XP very well. Production XP was well spent. Top production. Even when we were in the lineup after their national anthem and the fireworks went round the stadium in the colors of the French flag, I said, yeah, these men are different. Amin he's got a top team. Do you see how many of you lot saw AB's his Instagram? It's so sick. Let me see if I can load it now. It's so immaculately timed, bro. Watch. He notices his friends in the crowd in a second. How cold is that? How cold is that? That is insane. That is so good. Immaculate timing. Shout out whoever captured that one. That was so sick, man. Yeah, production levels top. Okay, let's talk about the injury. So what happened was, I've basically been trying to look after myself in preparation for this game. Been like exercising for cardio, just to make sure like my muscles and that are all good, because you know me, like I am susceptible to an injury. My body just it moves too fast for its own good. So I thought I was in quite good condition, and then we get to the day of the day before the training day. And there's only a few of us there, not the whole team's there. The French have had a full-on proper training session. They've got their tactics, they've got their formations, everything set out. Us, Deji didn't even want to run. We were just messing about, taking shots and chatting and pissing about, really. It was very casual, very informal. But at some point, Deji decided that he did want to run, and he was racing everyone, and he was running really well. Now, for some reason, I've actually forgot that Deji is an actual sprinter. He's actually very fast. So I'm thinking, why is Deji running like this? Why is everyone like struggling to beat Deji in a race? Okay, let me race this boy. So I said, Dej, let's run. Deji's there, AB's there, everyone ends up lining up, even Jamie's in the race. And we wait for them to count down. They go 3, 2, 1, go. I set off. I feel it. Boom. Hammy. Just slight strain. Not moving properly. I'm thinking, ah, man, why have I done this, bro? Can't even win the race. Because I'm feeling the hammy straight away. I walk straight in, get it strapped up, get it treated, go back to the hotel. I'm panicking. I'm getting it treated for about an hour or two that night. Go to bed, wake up, get it treated in the morning. Go to the game, treated again, strapped up, ready to go. It's moving better. It's feeling a little bit better, but it's weak. I can feel that it's weak. I can feel that I'm not going to be at 100%. I'm probably going to operate at like 60%. First half, we play. I can move, I can run, I can kick the ball. I'm struggling to change direction, and I'm struggling to hit my top speed. Again, hitting about 60% of what I can do. But we have chances. Couple nice balls from Theo and Simon over to my side create some chances, but I can't quite get the connection because my body has been compensating for the injury, so everything is a little bit off balance. So when I'm trying to play crosses and passes, I'm not quite hitting what I need to hit. But we still had chances. We had my one where I hit side netting, again, off balance. Then we had my cross into Theo over the bar. A couple of times where I cut in but couldn't get the pass right. One for Josh and one for someone else, Nico, I think. And then we get to half time. I've managed my injury so far. Again, struggled to change direction, struggled to hit top speed, but we're alive, we're working, we're good. 45-minute break. Fantastic performance at halftime. But you know what's not performing right now? My body, because it's cooled down. Start the second half, first 10 minutes on the bench. It's not looking good on the pitch. And they send me on. I have to wait 5 minutes for them to do their 4 substitutions before I can go on. I get on, I go at people, have a couple runs, can't get that cross in. My legs feeling weaker than it did in the first half. But we're trying to do this for England. I'm trying to do this for the boys. Trying to bring it home. The time's ticking down. I'm seeing the clock go. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we need to step this up. Someone's got to step this up here. So I'm pushing myself a little bit more and a little bit more. Initially, if you watch the first half, I'm not really tracking back. Like, I don't track back too much. Like, sometimes I'll drop in, but I'll never just go sprinting back because I can't. For some reason, in the second half, I thought, do you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just go. So I set off with my weakened hamstring. I'm chasing down this guy. I think his name was Michu. I skinned him all the first half. Second half, he's just gone past 2 challenges. I'm thinking, okay, let me try catch this guy. I put the burners on. I'm going. I'm catching him. I'm thinking this is taking too long. Let me step it up. I try and push further than the limit that my body is already at. As soon as I try and push further, I feel it. Bow. You know, like when a rope is, what's the word? Frayed. When a rope is snapping and one of the strands go, but not the whole thing. Do you know what I mean when I say that? That's what it felt like. So it's like some strands of my hamstring just went, but it was completely different to the sensation I felt the day before, where I felt like, oh, that feels weak, I've tweaked it. This one felt like the whole thing went to me. And the pain I got through my leg, at first it was like adrenaline, and then I tried to move to sit down and it was just pain. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, 33 years of age. This is it. I'm done with football for life, bro. I was thinking I was done. I don't know if it was just the occasion and everything happening. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to play the game anymore. We're 3-1 down at this point. Yeah, the older you get, the harder it is to recover from these injuries. So I think that played a big part in what was running through my head. Obviously, Soccer Aid was in the balance as well. That was probably done to me at that time. I'm thinking, bro, this is a bad hamstring pull. I've done that hamstring before and it wasn't nice. I was out for a couple months. I was just in a lot of pain and very, very overwhelmed. Shout out to the French fans. Shout out to the people who treated me as well and came to support me and console me. They gave me a lovely little like standing ovation as I got stretchered off, which was quite cool. I didn't know if they were standing. I had my shirt over my face. But the pain I was in on that stretcher was not nice. I was just trying to control my breathing. 33 is not too old to potentially ensure the hammy is good again. Well, we'll get onto that. So yeah, they stretch me inside. They put me on the bed. They're speaking to me in French. I only speak a little bit of French, so they have to get a translator in. They check it out. They seem to think it's not as bad. They do a couple movements and it's not as bad as they feared that it was, or I feared that it was. But I can't sit up without feeling this mad, sharp shooting pain down my whole leg. So we ice it, we treat it, get me some muscle relaxers, and then, yeah. Anyway, long story short, fast forward, we lose the game, yada, yada, yada. Back to England, straight into rehab to try and see if there's any way to potentially get me ready for this game on Sunday at Soccer Aid. Assessment indicates that it's a high grade 1, potentially low grade 2 hamstring tear or strain. I don't know the right terminology. I might be messing it up. But I've been doing rehab twice a day since that injury. That's exercises and treatments to help stimulate blood flow and increase the chances of recovery. The good news is that I can walk. I can jump now. What day is it today? As I'm doing this, it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's about to be Thursday. I can walk up and down the stairs. I can jump. I can do explosive movements without feeling pain. What I do feel is tightness, and that tightness is where the vulnerability is. So I need to be able to do my explosive movements without that tightness in my hammy. The fact that we started treating it straight away means that my body hasn't messed itself up. So what I learned about the body this week, I knew this a little bit before, but I learned a little bit more. When you get injured, obviously your body has a weakness. So the first thing it does is it uses the muscles around to protect it. They change how they function and operate. Other muscles in your body also change how they function and operate because they try and stabilize and compensate for the weakness that you have in the other side. So your body now starts to operate in a different way. So if you get injured and you don't rehab straight away, or if you don't rehab at all, your body then works in an unorthodox way, which will along the line, further down the line, cause you more problems, which is why it's important to rehab. So the fact that I started treating and rehabbing my injury straight away means that my body didn't have time to pick up any, let me call them bad habits, any bad habits or any compensation patterns. I think that's what it's called. Didn't have time to learn any compensation patterns, so I didn't have to unlearn those to kind of start fixing my injury. Because when you rehab, you have to break down the compensation patterns and then start to relearn the correct patterns that your body and muscles should use. So right now we're teaching my glutes to fire because my glutes are super weak. We're teaching my hamstrings to activate as well, because yeah, they're just not doing anything. There's no blood flow going through them. And yeah, we've got to the point where I can jump, I can do like explosive movements, I can kick a little bit, but I literally have 4 days, less than 4 days, let's say 3 days to fix this. So I'm gonna need you lot to keep me in your prayers. I'm trying really hard, really hard, but I'm trying really hard. I'm training twice a day and rehabbing twice a day to try and get into the right condition for that game. If you lot keep me in your prayers, that would be very much appreciated. But we thank God that the injury wasn't as bad as we thought, and that there's even a chance, like I'm even having the conversation that I'll be able to play in this game at Soccer Aid on Sunday. So yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm so grateful for all the messages that you lot sent me of support and love. Shout out to French players as well. A load of them left messages of love and support and wishing me a speedy recovery. Michu's team done a TikTok about me. I think it was his team, I don't know, done a TikTok where it was, what did I read it in French? It was like I accelerated so much that he had to get stretchered off the pitch, and it was me injured on the floor. And I'm thinking, oh rah, it's like Fairs, hey listen, get the clip. A couple people called it distasteful. Would I personally do that? Probably not. Do I mind it? No, I don't mind it. I don't. It's obviously not serious, it's in jest, but I could just back. I could say, should I just back or should I not just back? I can shut up. I'll shut up. It would just be, it's cheeky though. It's, okay, do you know what? I'm going to say it like this. Me personally, I wouldn't be happy if my only highlight of the game was someone else getting injured. But if that's what you need to celebrate, then nah, Michu, you know what? Michu sent me a lovely message as well. He sent me a lovely message. I'm playing with him. He sent me a really lovely message wishing me well. And he was lovely on the pitch. I think a couple times we chatted. We tried to chat. We like dapped each other up and shit. Do you know who's sick? SDM. What a guy. Showed me love from the very first instant, man. Showed me so much love. I think there's a video I reshared where after he scored his goal and his gas and the fireworks go off and everything, I just had to dap him up as he came back to the halfway line. I was like, that was so sick, bro. But yeah, super lovely. At half time, he come up to me. He said, Toby. I was like, this motherfucker knows my name. He knows my name. He said, Toby, you're a baller. I said, what? Me? Stop there. Shut up. No, I just laughed, man. I laughed. But yeah, that it was too sick, man. It was too sick. One of the French team players mocked his injury. I don't think it was him. I think it was his team just making content. It's not deep. Don't deep it, guys. Don't deep it. I'm being playful. When I tell you, look, if I go through my messages, all of them sent me lovely messages and tweets, man. The French seemed really happy. Obviously, they won the game, so they're going to be happy. But they actually seemed really happy with how we kind of were and composed ourselves. They were comparing us to the Spanish, and I don't really know exactly how the Spanish game went down, but apparently it was a little bit more hostile than what our thing was. I know some bits and I saw some bits, but I haven't watched the whole thing. I know a specific incident that happened, but that wasn't related to the players. That was more so related to the fans.